big elections context, things can happen quickly, but I wouldn't bet on it. I'll say that. I don't want to rule it out, but I wouldn't bet on it.
I understand. Definitely can understand that totally. Yeah, can understand why you would definitely not want to put any money on it if you were doing, I tried to say Vegas odds, but after all that went on in Vegas, we'll just say Atlantic City odds.
Yeah. The expected value of that bet is not good.
Not a good chance of that happening. So, yeah, it don't sound like you're going to have good returns on that whatsoever. So, Sonia.
Yes, sir.
How do you think that the President administration is doing in terms of their views on the veterans? This is your chance to expound on how you think they're doing with veterans in terms of the present administration, or if you want to even expound on the past administration, whether you think that was a better situation or how you think we're doing in terms of on a federal level in terms of supporting our veterans.
Well, I think that more money was available. This go round, a lot more was promised than what's been delivered. So I'm trying to keep hope alive. But in reality, for this organization, I know that it's going to have to come from the people.
Gotcha. And it sounds like a lot of the it's going to have to be definitely a people-run kind of programming. You might not have to be able to depend on the government who, from what I've seen, it seems like they want to use veterans more as a pawn than anything else because, I mean, I think about even like the whole thing with the Pledge of Allegiance and the sports athletes, that seems to be more like a pawn kind of thing where, you know, we have Pence sitting there at a San Francisco 49er game standing next to a military person. So it seems like they're wanting to play more using them as pawns versus trying to make any sort of real changes.
Absolutely, and, you know, I don't want to get it on with the political thing, but, you know, the thing with getting down on the knee is one thing, but meeting the needs is something else, and that's what we need to do. We need to meet the needs. Meeting the needs is with money. It's not with lip service. It's with money.
Right, so we definitely need to go ahead and meet the needs of these folks that absolutely need it and things of that nature. So, you've already told folks once. Hey, Dean, why don't you give folks the number in case they want to call in the next 15 minutes, and maybe they might even want to ask Jillian the question, or they might even have some services that they might want to share with Sonia and what she's got going on.
Okay, and actually they got about 11 minutes left, but if they want to call in, give us a call at 646-668-8393. It's the voice of the people, y'all.
Definitely, like I said, if you got some things that you want to ask either Jillian or Sonia, or even if you have some services that you might want to make available to Sonia as she tries to launch this program throughout the country and has already got 2 properties. What's the acreage of the land that you have in York, South Carolina, and the acreage of the land that you have committed so far in Alabama? I know North Carolina is still in discussion phase.
Yes, the property that the village will be on is 4.8 acres. The gentleman also has an additional 2 acres that he wants to utilize to recreational activities. So that is 6.8 total, and in Alabama is 21 acres.
Wow. So the Alabama property, so 21 acres, and then the other one is close to 7 acres. What are some of the recreational programs that you're looking at having the folks be involved in?
He wants to do an outdoor park. He also wants to do gardening programs. He wants to bring in animals. They want to do a lot of holistic therapeutic activities with the veterans. And then also we're going to be doing recreational activities. We also, I totally forgot, we got a call from an organization that does veteran camps. And they also want to partner up and have some of our veterans go to those weekend retreats for therapeutic outdoor activities. So some of those things that we're going to also implement in our village.
Okay. And where is the veteran camp? Is that in South Carolina as well, or is that in another state?
No, that's actually in North Carolina. They actually rent different places, and they're actually looking to build in possibly Mooresville, North Carolina.
Okay, so there's a couple of places in North Carolina that are definitely being incorporated in this whole effort to try to help the veterans that are definitely in need of this as they're getting transitioning back into the civilian life.
Yes, sir.
I was actually surprised at some of the things that I did not know about veterans until more recently, but I actually have a cousin that just recently retired from the military. He was actually I believe he got up to as high as lieutenant colonel or something like that. But I did not realize until I was talking to him that they apparently they give you a certain amount of time to get to the next rank, and if you don't get to the next rank, then they just kind of like ease you out of military service, because that's what he got to. He got to the point where he was ready to go into the next level, whether that was going to be colonel, general, or whatever. But I guess they only give you like 2 or 3 times, and if you don't make it, then they're kind of like, okay, well, you got to go back into the civilian world. So he's actually now working in the civilian world in the D.C. area. But I know for a while there, I don't know if he was expecting that, but I think they only give you a certain amount of times that you're allowed to try.
Absolutely.
A lot of folks don't know that until they get into the service, because, like I said, he had worked. He actually got into the service when he was at Duke. A place that Jillian knows very well, because she's a graduate of Duke, but he was at Duke and got into the ROTC program, and then shortly after that got into the military, where he made a career of the military until being eased out of it, and now is working in the civilian force. So as we wind down the show and start thinking about things and everything, what I'm going to let everybody go, but whether it's trying to start your own organization like you're doing, Sonia, or whether it's running for city council, like as you have done, Jillian, and being an activist, what words of advice would you give to people that want to follow in your footsteps? So I'm going to let you start, Jillian, and then I'll bring Sonia in, and then I'll come back to Dean and I'll make it as well. But if folks want to follow in your footsteps, Jillian, what advice would you give them?
I mean, I think the biggest barrier, honestly, is believing that you can do it. And there are so many organizations and programs that have sprouted up all over the country to help people run for office, programs focusing specifically on people of color, on LGBTQ people, on women, to try to make sure that we get, the diversity of representation that we need in folks making decisions in government. So my advice would just be, to try it, go for it. What have you got to lose? Worst case scenario is you aren't in office and you aren't now, so you didn't lose anything. And I think that the more people who take the chance and who run, the more likely we are to get representatives who are really from the community, who care about the community, who know the issues of the folks that they're representing, and who are in there to make a difference, rather than to doing it for a career, in it to build a political career. So my advice would be, try it, and if you win, then you've got a whole bunch of new opportunities to make change.
No doubt. And before I get to Sonia, really quickly, do you have any predictions for tomorrow? Tomorrow is the actual primary.
I have stopped predicting the results of elections since November of 2016. I will never do it again.
Fair enough. We'll just have to wait and see. And Sonia, what advice would you give to folks that want to try to launch a program to help the veterans, or just want to launch a program to help anybody?
Yes. The top-notch advice is to make sure that your people are vetted. When I started this process, so many people came aboard and said they were going to do this and that, and I had a minor setback with someone on my board that I did not vet. I did not know about doing criminal background checks. I did not know about doing a lot of things that I've learned. Make sure that your people are vetted. Make sure that you do criminal background checks. Everyone that says that they are for you or for this or that is not. So that is just some very powerful advice, because if your people are not together, then that hinders your organization.
There's no doubt about that. I do know some folks that have run into that even with other organizations as well, because sometimes people may have their own agendas, and their own agendas may not necessarily be the agenda of what either the organization is about or the cause is about. So you definitely have to be cautious about that, because sometimes why you think people are in it is not the real reason that they're actually in it. Dean, it's all
Absolutely.
Well, in
what
short,
advice you got for folks?
I don't know. I guess we need to start researching those things that are important to you. And then after you've researched them and you understand what they are, you find out who is spearheading that, offer your assistance, whether it be time, monetarily, or even if you have a group of individuals or organizations to help assist with the things that you're trying to accomplish that are in line with the organization that you choose to align with. You start to organize, you start to put things into action, and also pay attention to what's happening where people think no one is watching. And stay on top of those things. Some battles you'll win, some battles you'll lose, but as long as we continue to fight, then they will know that there's somebody paying attention and that they cannot just run roughshod and do whatever they want to do. Hopefully the situation will get better for veterans. Hopefully it will get better for ex-offenders. And it takes that village. It takes the community as well. It's just not a one-person show. We don't have magic wands that we wave to make things better. But if we work as a collective, we can get it a little bit better than it is each day that passes. So that's my thought on that. It's the six-man Dean Geronimo. I'm gone.
And here's my thought real quickly, which is the song with similar lines, which is definitely study our history and continue to stay focused on what we've got going on, study the issues that are happening in our society. There are so many things that we need to address and that need addressed by our greater community, be that gentrification, be that housing, be that what's going on in our school system, but definitely study the issues that surround you and do a good job of studying past history as well. And you can also join right here on this show, because right here we always have interesting guests and we'll have interesting people discussing the various things that are happening. So we definitely appreciate your being involved in all that we are involved in. As a matter of fact, we just hit 30 states because we joined, South Carolina joined the list as well. So hopefully we're going to get to all 50 and all of them countries as well. But definitely, stay tuned to the voice of the people. And now I'm out as well. But definitely stay informed as well.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to catch us Monday nights, 7 p.m. here at blogtalkradio.com/Ty Jones The Voice. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Well, like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. And you can catch the replay on a number of platforms. TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, here at Blog Talk Radio, and also at iHeartRadio. So we'll see you next week.
Allow me to introduce myself. Who knows what dastardly crime he might perpetrate next? He's a very clever arch criminal who must be put away. Another innocent